Thanks, everybody. Today we are talking with Katie, who wishes she was from Mars and loves salted caramel cashew ice cream. She was once a body double for Katie Holmes, did purchase order data entry, and has been cliff jumping. She hates pot roast, but that's no surprise because she's vegan. She is so afraid of heights, but big surprise, she went bungee jumping. So today she's going to share about her farm stay overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, which sounds beautiful.
Yeah. So welcome, Katie.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start our timer. We got 7 minutes. So we're just going to start by asking, how you found out about the farm stay and just a little bit about how you happened upon that as a choice for something to do.
Yeah, so luckily my boyfriend found it on Airbnb and it was the highlight of our trip. So that was, so the whole reason we chose Turkey in the first place, my boyfriend is German, I am American. And as we all know, this is all in the midst of lockdowns and travel restrictions. So we had been apart for 7 months at this point. And so Turkey was probably the only place that we could both get into. So that's how we chose Turkey. And we rented a car and we started in Istanbul and we kind of made a little loop around. And the farm was the last place we stayed. And it was the highlight. It was so dreamy. And the food was just exceptional, all grown on her land. And it was beautiful.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So is this something you always wanted to do, or it sounds like it was just kind of the choices you had, this is where you went?
Yeah, so it was really, I would say the planning of it was organic. I tend to be more of a planner and he is more go with the flow. So we had a little bit of both. We would go one place and then kind of plan the next one when we were there. So that's kind of how we did this. And he had some bookmarks. I had some bookmarks on our Airbnb, and we decided from there what would be the next place we went. So
Oh,
that was kind of how we landed on it.
wow. So you just planned it as you went along, or did you plan it before you went? Did you pick the places beforehand, or from
Yeah,
you?
we kind of had the route mapped out a little
Okay.
bit, and he did all the driving, so I cannot drive a stick shift. So
Okay.
that
So there
so
you go.
as
That,
in the U.S., most cars are automatic.
right.
So we kind of had ideas of where we were going to go, and
Uh-huh.
then we solidified them when we went there, just the next place along the way, which was great because it gives you flexibility if you want to stay longer somewhere or
Right.
skip one place altogether.
Right.
And it really worked out well. I learned to let go a little bit and just kind of go with the flow. So it was good practice for me to just surrender a little bit more,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
wow.
which is what my tattoo means.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely. So how long was this trip and how long were you at the farm? Can I ask, yeah, those two pieces?
Yeah, so it was 3 weeks altogether.
Oh, nice.
And the farm, we stayed, I think, 5 days. 5 days.
Nice.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So, yeah, being at the end, maybe we would have stayed longer had we known.
Right.
But, but we also, the place before that was a really beautiful rustic bungalow overlooking the ocean in Faralia. And that was a really lovely place too. So I would say the off the beaten path places were our favorites for sure.
Awesome.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. So you
Yeah.
flew into Turkey, correct?
Yeah, we flew into Istanbul and we met
Okay,
there and then rented the car and then started our little loop, I would say, kind of a little circle.
fabulous. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about the food. You mentioned that she grew things organically on this farm. And did she prepare it? Did you prepare it? Expand just a little bit on the food aspect, because
Yeah.
Cindy and
So
I
she,
both are always talking about food.
Yeah.
oh, yes. And I cook as well. So I appreciate good food and fresh food. So yeah, she grows the food organically on her farm, on her land. And she did have a woman who worked for her, but she also did some of the cooking herself. And just wonderful soups and salads. I remember the first day we had this salad, which seems, oh, just a salad, but the flavors and the freshness and oh,
Mm.
it was so wonderful. Olive trees. So she
Oh
pressed
my.
her own olive oil as well.
Wow. That's amazing. Did you guys, so you were on a farm, were you just staying there, or did you get a chance to like interact with the farming aspect and wander around that part of it?
Not too much, and with the farm itself.
Okay.
But she took us on a hike, so we did go on a hike and around the area,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
really lovely. We were one of the few people there, I would say, because tourism was so limited at that time.
Right.
There was maybe only a few other, one or two other couples at that time. It's a pretty small farm stay, so it's kind of nice. It's intimate. It feels like a home and
Okay.
comfortable.
Okay.
So
Did you stay with the family? Were you with her in their home, or was there separate quarters? So you said it was an Airbnb. I'm just curious how that worked out.
yeah, so it's kind of like a big house.
Okay.
She does live on site, and but you kind of have your own separate entrance as well. So it can be as community as you want it to, but it
Uh,
can also be separate and private.
oh, that's so
And
cool. Um,
yeah.
and was there anything, you mentioned that you don't drive a stick? Was there anything about the trip that was challenging or difficult? Anything that you had to
Uh,
overcome to make it work?
what was it? There was some like little things with the car. We weren't sure what was happening with the car. So
Uh,
uh there were a few times where people were pointing at the tires, speaking in Turkish, and we were
uh,
like, we don't know what's wrong.
Right.
So I tend to worry and think, oh no, the wheel's gonna fly off.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, that's me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but
God,
it all worked out okay.
Oh,
there's our timer. I had so many other
I know I
questions.
had another question too.
Oh, that was so fast.
It does. It happens so fast. So
Yeah.
that's our 7 minutes, Katie. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope we
Oh,
can get the link for the Airbnb that you stayed at,
Yes.
and whatever
yeah,
you're willing to share, we'll put in the show notes here in the description. Um,
definitely.
and so, just a quick closing here. We have a question and answer series that April and I are starting. So if you have questions, you can just there's a link below in the descriptions where you can ask those, and we'll answer them on a future episode. And travel with us through real stories from real people. So thanks so much, Katie.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.